Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaraachaarya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. त्रैलोक्यनाथ हरिमीड्यमुदार सत्वं शक्तेस्तनूजतनयं परमेष्ठिकल्पं जीमूतमुक्तविमलाम्बरचारुवर्णं वासिष्ठमुग्रतपसं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. We were looking at the objections to the Tattvamasi Vakya. Objections with reference to how the Advaitin interprets it, and 4 different ways the others are saying it can be interpreted. One is that it is a Vidhi Vakya for Upasana. The other is that it is either a figurative usage or it is just a Stuti or a praise. Then the fourth is, it's a ridiculous interpretation, but anyway, the fourth is that Brahman has become Jiva really, not the other way around, like Jiva is Brahman. So that's the point which the Acharya is now addressing that interpretation and showing how it is wrong. In this context, we came up to this 76th verse. Okay. In fact, 75 and 76 are presenting a certain argument. In 75, he said that when this Tattvamasi is used, before that, the Tat is shown as Animadi, correct? Guna, which has Animadi Guna, means which is the subtlest, means which is the Karana of everything, which is the essence of everything. So the Tat Pada is presented as Jagat Karanam, and that Jagat Karanam has become this Jiva really, means either that Jagat Karanatvam must now become false, correct? This Animadi Gunokti Kata Asya Mrisha. So either that Jagat Karanatvam or limitlessness of Brahman should be false, or the one who is supporting this body, correct? Sharira Brit, or one who is there in this body, this Shariri, the Sharira Brit is false. Either one of them has to be false. If that is the interpretation, both cannot be true at the same time. If you interpret it that way, that Brahman has really become Jiva. The other is, if you say Brahman has really become Jiva, it's not going to give you any useful results. Because Jiva already thinks, I am a samsari, I am suffering, I am having a lot of problems. So by reinforcing that and saying that Brahman only has become really this Jiva, it's not going to solve any problem. So it's not going to give you moksha, or it's not going to destroy your samsara, correct? Samsriti hetu nirakaranam, or it will not negate your samsara, your bhava that I am a samsari, correct? Or even the karana for that samsara, which is ajnanam. So by saying this samsara hetu will not be negated or destroyed. Therefore, what is the use of such a vachana or a teaching? In fact, by saying the Jiva is Paramatma only, the samsara hetu will be destroyed and you get moksha as the phala. So like these 2 arguments were presented. Now we'll go to the third argument, which is more of how the sentences have to be interpreted, how the words unite with each other and give a meaning, correct, in a sentence. Now in this case, Acharya is going to show you how grammatically also, if we analyze, we have to say Jiva is Brahman, not that Brahman is Jiva. Okay. So Tat, that is you, is not the Upadesha. You are that is the Upadesha. So that's how we have to understand that, and that gives the meaning that Jiva is Brahman. That is the correct meaning. Like this, he is going to show. So we'll see this verse. Tvamasiti padadvayameti yujam taditi dhvanina sahatattvamiti kriyaya sahanama padam samiyat nirapeksham hi yujam. So here, Tvamasi iti padadvayam. So the two words, Tvam and Asi are there. These words first join together. Okay. They Yujam means they come together, they unite. Okay. So they are there first. They join with each other. You are. That is the meaning, correct? Once you say you are, then the sentence is still not complete. Okay. Because it has now created an akanksha in you. It has created an expectation. So when I say you are, means you are now waiting. What are you going to say? Are you, if you are angry, you may say something, you are an idiot, something like that, correct? Or you want to praise somebody, you are going to say you are Indra, Chandra, like that. So you are alone is not a complete sentence, but it has created a certain expectation. That expectation has to be fulfilled. Okay. And how is it fulfilled? Taditi dvanina. Okay, saha tattvamiti. So the tad dhvani is again pada only, or the word. So that you are then goes and joins, okay, along with the tvamasi. So tad, that goes and joins with tvamasi, then it becomes you are that. Okay, saha tattvamiti. So in this case, what the Acharya is saying is tvamasi is there first, then tat joins that, then it becomes you are that, like that. In this manner, only all sentences are like this, correct? There has to be a verb, then the nouns are all connected to the verb. Then only it becomes a sentence. In a sentence, always there has to be nouns, and the nouns themselves cannot become a sentence. In fact, he will point it out in the next verse. So, the nouns have to be connected by a verb. Okay, that's why the nouns themselves are called karaka. See, there has to be a kriya pada or a verb. Verb is the kriya pada because it denotes the action. Then all the nouns are called factors of action because they are connected to the action in some way, correct? Starting with the agent. So in Sanskritam, agent is karta. Typically in an active voice, the karta is the prathama vibhakti, we say, the first declension or whatever, correct? Vibhakti, prathama vibhakti. So Ramaha, gacchati means, gacchati is the verb. Then who is going, who is the actor? Subject means Ramaha. Then kutra gacchati. Where is he going? If you have to say gramam gacchati, he goes to the village. So village is the object of action. Or Ramaha pashyati, if you say kam pashyati, means Ramaha Lakshmanam pashyati, means Rama sees Lakshmana. Like this, different kriya padas can have different karma, it is called in Sanskritam. Karma is a technical grammatical word in this case, which is the object of action. Then karana also. Chakshusha pashyati, by his eyes he is seeing. Karana means instrumental, that will come in third case. Then sampradhanam is there. For what purpose he is seeing and all that, if you want to say, that is called sampradhanam. Then upadana means from where the action takes place. So Ramaha gacchati means swagrama, from his own village he goes to some other grama, let us say. Then where does he go? Means on the road, let us say, correct? That is the location, locus. That is Saptami normally. So like this, all these karakas are there. The karakas have to be connected to the kriya pada. Then only it is a sentence. So that's what the Acharya says here. Kriya saha namapadam samiyat. So samiyat means sanyogam gachati, means it unites. So the namapadam is the noun. All the nouns have to be connected or united with the kriya pada. Then only what happens? The sentence is complete. Your expectation also will be complete. Because a sentence has to convey something completely. It should not leave something hanging. So nirapeksham upaiti anayahi yujam, by connecting the nouns with the verb only, your expectation will be fulfilled. The sentence also will become complete. So you cannot leave a sentence you are. You have to complete it. You are that. You are a human being, whatever. Correct? So like this, that's how we have to interpret the sentence he says. Okay. So in this case, Tomasi, first they join together and then create an expectation. Then the Tatpada comes and fulfills that expectation and completes the sentence. Like this only we have to interpret he says first. Then he gives a general principle also. Why this is important, he says, Nahi nama sahasramapi kriyaya rahitam kimapi pratipadayati pratipadakam eshu lingadi bhavet vihitadi materjanakam hiyataha. So, nahi nama sahasramapi kriyaya rahitam kimapi pratipadayati means kimapi na pratipadayati. Na we have to connect here. So, it does not convey anything. It does not reveal anything. Kimapi na pratipadayati means it does not reveal anything. What does not reveal anything? Nama sahasramapi. If you can have thousands of nouns by themselves, they will not convey anything unless they are all connected by a verb, he says. Kriyaya, they have to be connected. But kriyaya rahitam, if they are not with a verb, he makes it clear. Okay, kriyaya rahitam means what? Without a verb, even if you have thousands of nouns by themselves, they will not reveal anything. It's not a sentence. Okay, you can have different words. It's a word salad, like they say. So it may not mean much. So then when does it convey? Particularly with reference to the Veda, the Purva Mimamsakas say that Veda has to have vidhi. It has to mandate you to do something, correct? So Kriya Padam is very important for the Purva Mimamsaka. Even otherwise also, some verb has to be there. In this case, Asi also is a verb. Is also is a verb. Anyway, so here, Pratipadakam Yeshu Lingadi Bhavet. Lingadi means what? Ling. Ling, lot, tavya. Typically, it is said in the Veda, it has to be there. Ling, vidhiling or ling means it is a usage where the verb conveys or it mandates you to do something. Correct? You should do, you must do something like that. That is ling. Of course, lat is the present tense. Ling is the vidhiling, like I said, which mandates you to do. Lot also is there, like that. So ling, lot, these are all forms of verbs which mandates you to do something. And tavya also is there, but tavya is actually a verb which becomes a noun, but still it conveys the meaning of the kriya. Kartavyaha and all that, correct? That which has to be done. Kartavyam, kartavya, duty, things like that. So those words only, lingadi, adipadat, ling, lot, tavya, we have to understand here. They only, along with that, when it is joining all the nouns, then pratipadakam. So then they reveal something. What they will reveal? Vihitadi, matehe janakam. So in your mind, they will generate some cognition, correct? Only when when it is joined with this lingadi. What kind of vihitadi means? Adi padat again. Vihitam means that which has to be done. Okay, vidhi. Or adi padat we have to say pratisiddha. That which should not be done also is revealed in the Veda, correct? So what should be done? What should not be done? Pratisiddha karma also is presented. So both all these things are all revealed only when the noun is connected to the verbs. So nouns are called subanta. Generally in the Paninian system, supratyaya comes and forms a noun. And tinganta is called verbs, like that also. Tiptas ji, like that, the pratyayas are there. Paninian pratyaya for the verbs. So subanta, tinganta also is another way of putting it. So unless the tinganta is there, to that only all the subantas are connected. Once this is there, then the vidhi or pratisiddha, all those things can be understood, can be, and it can be revealed. It will reveal like that. That's what he points out. So here then what further he points out one, interestingly, the Paninian Sutra itself, to point out that you can say why this asi, why it cannot go with tat, correct? First. And then, like I said in English, it will become that is you. So somebody can argue, why cannot I say that is you? You have to say only you are that. See, in English, the verbs are independent, nouns are independent. In fact, it depends on even the place where the noun is. Depending on that, it becomes a particular karaka or a factor of action. For example, in English, you say Rama sees Lakshmana. Means if Rama comes first, if I say Rama sees Lakshmana, Rama is the subject. Lakshmana will become the object of action, object of seeing. If you put it the other way around, Lakshmana sees Rama also, if you put, then the whole meaning is different now, correct? Lakshmana now becomes the subject, Rama becomes the object. The words are same. So English is a language in which the position in the sentence is very important. Sanskritam, Tamil are all not like that. Why? Because the noun forms themselves tell you whether they are subject or object, etc. Correct? For example, in Sanskritam, Ramaha Lakshmanam Pashyati. So whichever way you put it, Pashyati Lakshmanam Ramaha, Pashyati Ramaha Lakshmanam, whatever may be the order of words, Ramaha is always Prathama Ekavachanam, means subject. Lakshmanam is Dvitiya Ekavachanam, means object. It doesn't matter, correct? Tamil also same thing. Raman Lakshmananai Parthan, Parkiran, whatever. Raman Lakshmananai Parkiran means you can put it any way you want, meaning will not change. The noun forms are connected to the verb not based on position in the sentence, but by their very endings only we know that what this noun is, correct? What it represents in the sentence. Similarly, the verbs also have their forms in Sanskritam, correct? For example, nan parkiren in Tamil, I have to say, correct? Aham pashyami. But tvam, if I say you, ni parkirai. Parkiren we cannot use, correct? It's not the same. Or avan parkiran. Ni parkirai, I have to say. Avan parkiran. He sees, you see. In English, everything is same. The verb does not convey really whether it is the I am doing it, or the one in front of me is doing it, or somebody else remotely they are doing it. The verb does not convey that. That way also English is a problematic language. But Sanskritam, Tamil and all, the verbal forms change, correct? Based on who is doing the action. Whether I am doing it, whether you are doing it, or whether somebody remote, he or she, or they are doing it. Correct? So Sanskritam also, Tvam Pashyasi, I have to say. Aham Pashyami, Tvam Pashyasi, Saha Pashyati, it will become. Tamil also same thing. Nan Parkiren, Ni Parkirai, Avan Parkiran. Correct? All three verbal forms are different. So Panini also defines these three, correct? So there is a Prathama Purushaha, Madhyama Purushaha, Uttama Purushaha, like that in Sanskritam. So in fact, why it is called Prathama, interestingly, Prathama Purushaha in Sanskritam means all this, whatever is the subject matter is called Prathamaha Purusha. First person. In English, first person means really myself, correct? But in Sanskritam, first person is actually the subject matter. Whatever is third person in English is called Prathamaha Purusha in Sanskritam. Very interesting, correct? Sanskrit grammar. My Guruji used to say that is because the subject matter is the most important thing, not whether who is saying is not important. Subject matter is important for us always. Therefore, that is Prathamaha. Madhyamaha means second person, which is okay. You, whatever is in front is called Madhyamaha. So that's what is said here. We'll see here. Bhagavanapi madhyamameva yato viniyachati yushmadi nityamataha prathamam tvamasiti pade samitaha charamam tvasina samiyataditi. So Bhagavan api, here Bhagavan Acharya is referring to Panini as Bhagavan here. Okay, Panini Sutras is referencing, and Bhagavan is so very respectfully he is addressing Panini. Panini is a great intellect, correct? The way he has formulated the sutras, defined a meta language to describe the natural language, is all amazing. Even now it is, I don't know how one person can visualize all that and codify it like that in sutras. It's amazing. You cannot compare it with anything. Even to study that is so difficult for us. So think about somebody who has created such a system. It's an amazingly sophisticated system. So this Bhagavan, so he is really Bhagavan, in fact. And Madhyamameva yato viniyachati yushmaditi nityam ataha. Yushmad. So the Yushmad Sabda is Madhyama Purusha. You. Correct? Tvam. Yushmad only becomes Tvam actually after some prefix, suffix comes. Okay, so the Yushmad, Yushmadi, like that there is a sutra is there actually. That's what is being referred to here. The Paninian Sutra is Yushmad Upapade Samanadhikarane Sthaninyapi Madhyamaha. Like that there is a sutra is there. 14105. Okay, this is the sutra. Yushmad Upapade Samanadhikarane Sthaninyapi Madhyamaha. That is the sutra. So in that sutra, what is said? If Yushmad Shabda is understood in a sentence, whether it is expressly stated or it is understood in the context also, correct? It can be explicitly said like Tvam here, or sometimes the you is understood in a particular sentence, whichever way it is, then the verbal, and again the verb has to go along with that, correct? Samana adhikarane means verb also is pointing to the same locus, or it is in agreement with the noun, and that verbal termination will be the Madhyama Purushaha. Madhyamaha, he defines that as Madhyamaha, or second person in English. Okay, so the Acharya is pointing out to that Paniniya Sutra here. So Madhyamameva yato viniyachi yushmadi. So if yushmad is used, then the verbal form has to be also in keeping with that, correct? For Madhyama Purusha, and which is Asi here, correct? So Tvamasi, they always go together. Nityam, they have to go together only. If it is Tad means it cannot be Asi. It should be Asti, correct? Asmi, Asi, Asti. It is not tadastitvam. Like that, the Upadesha is not there. It is Tvamasi Tad. Correct? Tattvamasi is Tvamasi Tad, really speaking. You are that. That's what he is pointing out here. So, Yushmadi Yataha Viniyachati means what? Because Panini, Bhagavan Panini connects the Yushmad with the Madhyama Purusha. Therefore, always what? Ataha Nityam Ataha Prathamam Tvamasi iti pade Samitaha means first we have to connect Tvam and Asi. Because they go together, correct? The endings. Asi is Madhyama Pada and Asi being Madhyama Pada, it will always go with Yushmad only. Therefore, Tvamasi only has to be connected first. And then finally, Charamam tu Asina Samiyat Taditi. Then the Tad joins the Asi. Finally. To complete the sentence and make a full sentence. Okay? Tattvamasi. So like this only we have to connect. It cannot be the other way around. In that case, the verbal form has to be asti. Tadastitvam it should be. Tattvam asti it should be, not tattvam asi. Correct? That's what he is pointing out here. Therefore, you are that is the teaching. Therefore, you are Brahman is the teaching. Not that Brahman has become Jiva. Jiva is Brahman is the teaching here. Therefore, whatever you say is not correct. Even grammatically it is wrong. You cannot interpret it that way. That's what the Acharya is pointing out here by referencing a Paniniya Sutra also. And then further what? Purusho bhihitastvamasi yada kimasani vadeti tada bhimukha shravanaya bhavedanimadi gunam saditi prakritam tadasiti vadet. So now again the Acharya goes back and says how the Upadesha itself is done, correct? The Guru is teaching the Sishya, and Guru has now actually, if you take the Sadvidya in the Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter, it starts with Sadeva Somya Idamagre Asit and all that, correct? And even before that, in fact, the story is there that Shweta Ketu goes to the Gurukula and comes back. And then his father is asking him a question. Did you know that by which you will as well know everything else? Then Shwetaketu says, no, I don't think my teacher only knows that. Otherwise, he would have taught me because I am the best. Something like that. He is very proud of himself. He says like that, and then, but anyway, he asks his father, why don't you teach me? So the father teaches him. So he starts with Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asit and presents that Sadvastu is the Jagat Karanam. It is the Karana of everything. And Karana alone is really there. Karya is only Nama. Correct? Mritika ityeva satyam. Vacharambanam vikaro namadeyam. Mritika ityeva satyam. Like that the teaching starts. Then the Sadvastu is presented. That is the essence of, so which has this Animadi Guna. Correct? Which is the essence of everything. Which is the Jagat Karanam. Like that it is presented. Correct? So if you take the Tattvamasi Vakya, okay, in that, how is it coming? So the Tattvamasi itself we have to understand. The Animadi Guna are all presented first, and then that you are that Sadvastu. That is the teaching, correct? The Sadvastu, you are that. So you are is first said here. That's what he is pointing out again here. And an expectation is set. By pointing out you are, that expectation is set. And then this he is going to point out what is the teaching itself, correct? You are, and then who are you? The actual Upanishad Vakya is what? Saya Yesho Nima Aitadatmyam Idam Sarvam Tat Satyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shwetaketo Iti. Like that, that is the teaching, correct? Saya Yesho Nima Saya Yeshaha Anima Aitadatmyam Idagum Sarvam Tat Satyam. sarvam tat satyam sa atma. So this Satvastu, which is the essence of everything, which is the self of all. Okay, like that only it is presented first. And that alone is Satyam. Everything else is only Mithya. It is all only Nama Matram, Vacharambanam, Vikaro, Namadheyam. These are all only names and forms. And He Shweta Kveto, you are that Sadvastu. So when you are is said by the teacher, okay, Twamiti, then what? The student is now attentive. Okay, Abhimukaha, he is now attentive because you are, means some expectation has been created. Already I talked about the expectation. And then he is now expecting what? Kim asani vada, who am I? You are means I am, like that he understands. And then who am I? Tell me, who am I? Like that, there is a attention is there. Expectation has been created in the Sishya. So, Purushaha Abhihitaha Tvamasi iti. So once the person, the Jiva is pointed out as you are, in fact, in this case, Purushaha word can be understood in two ways, correct? Purushaha can be the Jiva. Purishayanat Purushaha means one who is the Dehi, one who is the Pura itself is the fort. Navadware Pure Dehi, like that even Gita says, correct? With 9 gates. This body has 9 gates, means 9 places where it is all open, correct? This body openings are there in the body, 9 openings like nose, eyes, etc. You can count it. And that body, in that whoever resides, that is the Jiva, correct? And also Puranat Purushaha means that is Brahman, the one who completes everything, one who is there everywhere, correct? Pervades everything and completes, and one who is full and complete, limitless. So means antarbahihi puritatvat purushaha bhavet, like this it is there. So one who fills everything in, out, in fact one who transcends space time itself, that way also purushaha can be understood. So the word purushaha, by using here, Acharya uses it here because he wants to point out that the purusha itself can be used for the jiva or for Brahman. Anyway, so that way also Tvamasi Tat makes sense, correct? Both Tvam also is Purusha only, Tat also is Purusha only. Purushaha Abhitaha Tvamasi iti. Then he asks Yada, when he said Tvamasi, Kimasani Vada, who am I? Tell me now. Tada Abhimukaha, he is attentive. Then what? Attentive. Shravanaya Abhimukaha means he is attentive, he wants to hear. He is ready to listen to whatever the Guru. Then what does the Guru say? Animadi gunam bhavet. Animadi gunam saditi bhavet. Prakritam tadasi iti vadet. So, Animadi gunam saditi prakritam. So the sadvastu, which is the subject under discussion, correct? Prakritam means whatever is under discussion. As I told you, Saya yeshaha anima aitadatmyam idam sarvam tat satyam sa atma, like that only the teaching is there, correct? So that Saya yeshaha, all that is pointing out only the sadvastu which is under discussion, because the whole teaching started with Sadeva Soumya Idam Agre Asit, and how from that sadvastu only all the Panchabhutas have come, and that sadvastu alone is the karana for everything. All that was said already, that is under discussion. That sadvastu, which is the essence of all, which has this animadi guna, tadasi, that alone you are, correct? Like that the Guru then teaches. So the one who is attentive, Shravanaya Abhimukaha Bhavet, the one who is has become attentive for listening, to him it is said that you are that which is the sadvastu, which has, or which is the essence of everything, like that. Then only the teaching is complete, teaching is meaningful. It can be only like that. It cannot be the other way around. Okay. Continuing. Tvamiti dhvanina abhihitasya. Okay, I cannot add there. Tvamiti dhvanina abhihitasya yataha taditi shruti vachya sadatmakatam avadad avadadvachanam tatayeva sato nahi jiva satattvakatam vadati. So now he is summarizing whatever he is, all the arguments he has given, correct? Tvamiti dhvanina abhihitasya yataha taditi shruti vachya sadatmakatam avadat. So that is the final conclusion. Now whatever tvam, first tvam is said, that word tvamiti dhvanina. So one who is uh, addressed, correct? Abhihita means one is who is addressed as you are. Okay, and that person was then what he said as that. Taditi shruti vachya sadatmakatam. By saying you are that here is the sadvastu, which has been revealed by the shruti as the jagat karanam. So the tvam only gets the sadatmakatam, not the other way around. Tad does not get the jivatmakatam. Okay, jivatmakata, tad does not attain jivatmakata, but tvam only gets the sadatmakata. That's what he says. So shruti vachya sadatmakatam taditi avadat. So you are that, like that only the Shruti Vachana is there. Shruti is saying that. Therefore what? Tataha. Therefore Tataha eva Sataha nahi jiva satatvakatam vadati. Therefore Sat does not become Jiva. Jiva's identity with Sat alone is taught by the Shruti, not the other way around. This is very clear because we have presented different arguments for that. Okay. So grammatical argument and based on the phala also, that all these arguments, and which is mrisha, which is false also, we have to understand. Based on all these things, we now understand that the Shruti is only teaching you are that, and it is not teaching that is you. That's what we have to understand here. So with this, this topic also is over. But still, there can be a doubt. Why then? Still there is always a doubt, correct? If already I am this Brahman, why should I be taught all these things? Okay. Means that is because you are already Brahman, but the only problem is you do not know that, correct? Ignorance is the problem. So that's where now the Acharya will again address this point. Because the main point is that if you say you are already Brahman, means this objection is there, correct? Then the teaching is anarthaka. Teaching is useless because you are already that. Then why am I being taught that fact which is already the reality? Means you do not know that you are that, correct? That is the problem. So he is going to point out that first he is anyway saying what is the teaching here again. Vishayabhimukhani sharira bhritaha swarasena sada karanani yataha swakameshana rupamavaiti tataha pratibodhyata eva tato vachanaihi. So here you can see, so why this person has to be taught? Because normally all the jivas, the sharira bhrit, correct, one who is in the sharira, one who supports the sharira, the body, the embodied conscious being is what? Vishayabhimukhani sada karanani. Okay, swarasena Sharira Britaha Karanani Vishayabhimukhani, says. It means what? The jiva is always engaged in with the karanas, means the jnanendriya, karmendriya, etc. And what is the nature of these indriyas? They go out to their indriya vishaya, and jiva also then becomes vishayabhimukha, means what? Only focused on the sense objects. So jiva being focused on the sense objects means the jiva's attention is always on the sense objects, because the karanas are dragging the jiva to that, correct? The sharira brit. Because of that, what? Swakam rupam yeshaha na avaiti, means one does not know one's own swarupa. One is ignorant of one's own swarupa. One takes oneself as a limited subject, limited embodied conscious being within this space-time, and doesn't know one's own swarupa. Swakam rupam na yeshaha avaiti, correct? So this jiva, the sharira brit, swakam rupam na avaiti, does not know one's own. So the ignorance alone is the root cause of the samsara itself. And because you are ignorant of your own true nature, that's why Shruti has to come and teach you. So it is like I have my glasses like this and I can be searching all over the place, correct? This is an experience which all of us, we understand, or the 10th man story also is said, correct? It's not that the 10th man is newly created or anything. 10th man is already there. But one forgets to count, or one doesn't count oneself, and then panics, thinking that there are only 9 people, one person is lost and all that. So that is the 10th man story. Or in this case, you can have something on you without realizing that you are searching all over. Where is my spectacles and all that? Somebody has to come and point out that, correct? If you don't know that, they have to say, hey, it's already there with you only. Then the teaching becomes meaningful, correct? In fact, that is the only scenario in which the teaching itself can be meaningful. That also we saw. Because really, otherwise, if the jiva is jiva and Paramatma is Paramatma, then there cannot be any teaching, correct? You are that, nobody can say that. You cannot make the jiva into Paramatma by just the teaching. Teaching only reveals whatever is already there. It does not create any new reality or anything like that. So in this case, Swakam Rupam Yeshaha na avaiti. So one does not know one's own Swarupa. Therefore what? Because of that only Tataha Pratibodhyata eva Tataha Vachanehi. Therefore the Shruti Vakyas, the Shruti Vachanas, the words of the Shruti, they reveal to you that you are that, because you have not understood that you have become ignorant of your own reality, your own nature. So that's why the Shruti is coming and teaching you that. So then the whole thing becomes proper. You are that. Still, how can you say this, that one does not know oneself and one is being drawn by the indriyas, and because of that one is always focused on the external sense objects, and because of that one doesn't know oneself and all that? How can you say all these things? Means now the Acharya is giving you the pramana for that. It's not that I am saying that. This is being said by many Shrutis and Smritis also. So that's what he is going to point out in the next verse. Vachanam cha paranchi purassarakam bahuvaidhikamatra tatha smaranam vishayeshu cha navamivambhasi yat manasendriya rashmi vinigrahavat. So now Acharya is quoting the Shruti first. Vachanam cha paranchi purassarakam bahuvaidikam atra tatha smaranam. So Bahu Vaidikam Vachanam. So there are many Veda Vakyas are there. Okay, like the Paranchi means Paranchikani Vyatrinat Swayambhuhu Tasmat Parang Pashyati Nantaratman. Like that there is a Vakya is there, correct? So with regards to the senses tending towards their objects or going after their objects, many Shruti texts are there. That's what he is pointing out. So, and what are they? One of them is Paranchikani Vyatrinat Swayambhuhu Tasmat Parang Pashyati Nantaratman. This is the Kathopanishad famous Vakya. I think it is 121. No, 211. Sorry. It is 211. It starts with that one chapter there. Paranchikani Vyatrinat Swayambhuhu means what? Paranchi means Paraganchati. Iti Paranchi means that which is outward, going outward. And what? Khani. Khani here means Kha is, all the Indriyas are called Kha. Okay, so and who has made them like that? Swayambhu. Swayambhu here is Ishvara only. Parameshwara is called Swayambhu because Parameshwara is independent of everything. Parameshwara is Swatantraha, does not depend on anything. But the Parameshwara has created the senses in this manner. And in fact, by that, Vyatrinat means what? Yes, actually killed you, something like that. Bhashyakara says in that. And because of that, what happens? Because the senses are having this tendency, outgoing tendency always. Tasmat parang pashyati. Therefore, you only see outside, whatever is there, the external universe, all the external things only one is always cognizing and then taking oneself as an object in this space-time and does not know one's own self, correct? Parang pashyati na antaratman. Antaratman na pashyati. One's own self, one's own nature, one's own reality, one does not cognize because one is always looking at the external world, going after external things. So that is our problem. But that Upanishad itself says what? Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam aikshate. Only some people with dhiraha here means viveki purusha, with discriminative knowledge, okay, who know what is nitya, what is anitya and all that, and one who is desirous of moksha also. Amritatvam icchan. So one who is desirous of amritatva, immortality, freedom from all limitations, one who is desirous like that, mumukshu, they, and how do they see this Atma? Pratyagatmanam aikshati, it is said. They are the ones who see the inner self, but first they turn away from all the external objects or external pursuits. Avritta chakshuhu, sun. Being Avritta chakshuhu means one's eyes have turned inward, means they have certain mastery over their sense organs. All the sense organs do not go after the sense objects, but they are all withdrawn and the focus is only on knowing oneself. Like that, being like that, one then knows this self. Like this it is said here, correct? So the Acharya is referring to that Paranchi, Purassarakam, Bahuvaidikam. There are many other Vakyas are also there in the Shruti itself and Smriti also. Tatha Smaranam. So here he is quoting some couple of Bhagavad Gita verses and even one more Shruti is quoted here according to the commentator. But even I am not able to locate exactly what that Shruti is. But anyway, the Bhagavad Gita verses are very clear here. Okay, Navam Iva Ambhasi is there. That is in the end of the second chapter. Indriyanam hi charatam yen manonu vidhiyate tadasya harati prajnam vayurnavam ivambhasi. Like that, this verse is there. Correct? So, this is, I think, somewhere in the second chapter end it is there. Okay, I think 267 or something, you can go and see. So Indriyanam hi charatam yen manonu vidhiyate means what? So wherever the Indriyas are going, Anuvidhiyate means the mind also, manaha anuvidhiyate means what? It goes along, it follows your senses. So like in the Tamil also there is a song, correct? Kan pona pokile, kal pogalama, kal pona pokile, manam pogalama, like that. So the mind goes along with your with your sense organs and organs of action. Then what happens if that happens? Then tadasya harati prajnam. If that happens, if the mind goes along with the sense organs and organs of action, then it will take away your discriminative knowledge. Your discrimination will go away. Prajnam harati means it will carry away your discriminative knowledge also. Your knowledge will not be available with you. Like even what? You leave a boat in the sea or something, the wind will take it away, correct? Vayur navam iva ambhasi. So you leave the boat on the water, on the seas, and then the wind will take that away somewhere. You have to actually guide the boat, correct? Properly, then only it will go to the place where it is supposed to reach. If you simply leave the boat, then it will take some whatever course, wherever the winds are blowing, it will go there. But it should not be like that, correct? Therefore, in fact, immediately Bhagavan says, Tasmat yasya maha baho nigrihitani sarvashaha indriyani indriyarthebhya tasya prajna pratisthita, like that. Therefore, what? You have to withdraw your senses, like even a turtle withdraws. He already said that. Okay, the turtle analogy is given. Turtle withdraws the four limbs and the head also. This actually beautifully also aligns with the Pancha Jnanendriya. So you withdraw all your Indriyas, then focus on yourself alone. That is the teaching. So the Indriyas take you away comes from this, correct? And Yan Manasa also is there. In the 6th chapter of Gita also, Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tektva Sarvana Sheshataha Manasaivendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantataha. So Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman, all the desires which are born out of some ideas, correct? Fanciful ideas, that is all called Sankalpa. You have to, Tyaktva means what? Giving up all that completely. Sarvan Asheshataha, all of them without anything remaining, correct? And Manasa Eva Indriya Gramam means what? Indriya Gramam means all the whole group of senses. Gramam here means group, means all the senses. Manasa eva viniyamya means what? By restraining them, by withdrawing them, by having mastery over them. From all sides you have to withdraw completely. Like that, there is a verse in the 6th chapter also. This is Dhyana Yoga. So this verse also is referred to here by the Acharya, correct? Because he is now talking about Yan Manasa, correct? Manasaivendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantataha, he is referring to that. Then the third one he is referring to is Indriya Rashmi Vinigrahavati. Now this is the commentator for this verse quotes another Shruti Smriti Vakya, but I am not able to locate that. That another Smriti verse he quotes is Yada Sanyachate Rashmin Jnanani Manasasah Tada Prakashate Hyatma Ghate Deepo Jwalanniva. So Yada Samyachate Rashmin means what? Jnanani Manasasah means you restrain, you withdraw all this Rashmi, means the rains, along with from your sense organs and along with the mind, you restrain all of them and withdraw them. Then what? This Atma shines. Tada prakashate hi Atma. So when you withdraw your senses along with the mind, then this Atma shines. Like even a lamp shines in a pot. Ghate deepo jwalanniva means the lamp has to be, or the whatever the source of light, like a lamp has to be protected in a pot. If you just keep it outside, it will the wind and other elements will take care of it, correct? It will not last long. But if you put it in a pot, it will be shining, it will be there, it is protected. Like that, you have to withdraw, then only you can also understand your reality properly. Like this, so the here different shrutis and smritis are quoted by the acharya to say that this is how it is. Only because you are outward focused, you have now become ignorant of your true nature. Therefore, the Shruti has to come and teach. Therefore, the teaching is meaningful, it is purposeful, and this is the only way you can interpret the teaching also. You cannot interpret it in any other way. So, like this is made very clear here. We'll continue next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.